I'd like to thank you for taking the time to join me and watch this video today. I've made a number of videos in the past, maybe some of you have seen them, but this one's a little bit different, and I'd like to talk to you about something that's really, really important to me today. My name's Gilmour, by the way. I work with the p.i.n.e Project, a non-profit and charitable organization based out of Toronto, but that runs programs all over Ontario. And right now I'm up at p.i.n.e Muskoka camp, and I'm hanging out in a shelter that some of our students made last year. Anyways, what I'd love to chat with you today about is what I do throughout the year and how you could support that vision. People are always asking me about what I do for a living, and it's funny because when I first got into this stuff, I used to come home and I'd tell my mom about this crazy program we just did where we taught people how to make fires by doing hand drills or bow drills, and we had a closing circle, and half the group were in tears in the closing circle. You know, and my mom would look at me and wonder, how is that possible? You know, what do you mean people were crying? You were just teaching them how to make fire. And very few people understand kind of what it is that we're doing out here today until they've experienced it firsthand, and it's such a hard thing to explain to people. You know, on a very surface level, what we do is we run nature connection programs, outdoor education. But what's the deeper value of all of that? There's these moments that happen throughout that, relatively frequently, that just make all that exhausting work so worthwhile when I see the benefits of what we're doing. But it's not just about, you know, learning the names of plants so that we can have better science. You know, what this really is about for us is what we call deep nature connection. It's empowering people to actually find their gifts in the world and their gifts in life so that they can serve their community, so that they can be people that are fully alive in their bodies, fully present in the moment, that have awareness far surpassing what most people have today when they're walking down the street on their cell phones or on their iPads. You know, people that notice a change in the bird activity that tells them that there's a hawk around the corner. Or they notice that the blue jays are singing about a weasel in their backyard and they go to the window and they get to see that weasel. It's a whole nother level of understanding the ecosystem that we live in that modern science often overlooks. It's also about bridging the modern sciences with the ancient sciences and understanding ecosystems on a really deep level. So part of what we do is we rebuild relationship with the land. We start to understand it as all human beings once did again, which then empowers us to make really good decisions on the land. Empowers everything that we do in life. And the other thing I really love about this style of education and the things that come up in nature is it presents us with challenges. Real hard challenges sometimes. Life isn't always easy when we're in the woods. There's a lot of fun, there's a lot of games, but we also come up against obstacles. Some of them that might actually pose real danger. Some of them that are really uncomfortable. So we teach kids about being adaptable. We teach kids about being resilient. We teach kids about creative problem solving. We teach kids about being comfortable outside in the natural environment that we were born in and that we were meant to live in. And I love watching how that flourishes and affects people and the way that they're able to now relate to the modern world and the things that they do in life. So this brings me back to why I made this video in the first place, and how you could maybe help support this vision of reconnecting people with the land in powerful ways and growing stronger, more resilient communities. So what we're doing this year as a fundraiser is something we call the sit-a-thon. Myself, I'm going to go out and do a 6-hour sit on the back pond and just fully immerse myself in nature. And what we're looking for is sponsors, people that can donate anywhere from $5 to $500 towards the organization that we can put towards bursaries for youth, for kids to be able to come into the programs, for adults to be able to come into the programs. And we also want these programs to be accessible to everybody. We believe that this kind of mentoring used to happen in every culture around the world, and it's a basic right of humans to be able to be mentored in the outdoors, for humans to grow up being creative, resilient, with their senses turned on. So thanks so much for tuning in, sit in the fire, and if you're able to help us feed that fire and watch it grow in Ontario and around, I'd be so appreciative of that. Thanks again, everybody.
And you could take a few people to set up the game.
Oh, yeah, nice save.
All of us who are around the fire notice how tall that fire is. Imagine that's like
Rise up, though flame, by thy light glowing, bring to us beauty, vision, and joy.